Hi everyone, I'm Arlene Battisil, and I want to walk you through the new feature in Power Editor that allows you to preview your ads before you actually upload them into Power Editor for them to start running. So I'm going to create a new campaign here, and we'll just call it Facebook Advertising Tips. I'll create the campaign, and I'm just going to create an ad set real quick. And we're going to create a new ad set, and we're going to use Facebook Advertising Tips as the campaign, and then I'll just go ahead and call it the same thing just for the sake of example. And then I'm going to go into ads and create a new ad, and we use this one for the campaign, we use this for the ad set, and I'm just going to go ahead and call it the same thing again. I have set the objective for the campaign to be clicks to website, and I am going to use FB ad targeting. That's my Facebook page for this ad. And now this is where we're getting into the new feature in Power Editor. If you remember, you used to have the ability to create what was called a dark or unpublished post. Well, Facebook has gotten rid of that and instead created something here that's called either create a new or edit a post. And I want to create a new post. So let's say I want to send people to my website. Okay, and what's going to start happening is that you're going to see over here in the section where there's the preview ads, it's going to show you exactly how the ad looks in each of the placements for your ads. And so what we've got is this is what it looks like when it's your desktop. This is what it looks like on your mobile phone. This is what it looks like if it's a right column or right sidebar ad. And then these two have to do with apps, which you don't really need to be concerned with unless, of course, you're in the app business. Okay, so let's go back to the desktop newsfeed. Now, I can go down to the bottom here and say, I just want to restrict this ad to newsfeed on a desktop only. So I'm going to get rid of these things here. And then it's just going to show me what is going to happen when this becomes an ad for the newsfeed. So I'm in the process of creating a new post, and this is a post that is not going to show up on my Facebook page. This function right here, which is create new or edit, is the same as what we used to do with unpublished or what were called dark posts. Now, this is where you need to pay really close attention to what's happening in the text, because one thing is clear, and I'll show you how this works. It's that Facebook has not changed their approach to how much text they will allow you to use in your ad. And so, for example, in the text here, the link description, the headline, and the display link, these are all things that have always been in place for ads, and they still have a restriction on the number of characters that you use for the purpose of your ads. And so I'm going to go ahead and create this ad, and let's just say get your Facebook advertising tips for free, get them in your emails, sign up for our YouTube channel, and whatever. So now you can see that the text goes underneath the link that I've used right here. So this is a click to website, so I'm sending people to my website, and Facebook is pulling the website in right here, and it's using an image for the website. It's automatically populating this with an image from the website, which is on the home page. And then it takes the description of the website and puts it right here under the image. Okay, so for the sake of example, I'm just going to copy this in right here so you can see what's happening here. So this goes above the image, and then I'm just going to paste it again in the headline because this is where you're going to see what happens. So now it has changed what was previously here and pulled in from my website, and it has plugged in a headline that I just copied and pasted here, and then I'll paste it again in the display link, which goes underneath here. So now I've got all of this text in here. Now, what you have to understand, and let's say everybody in the US, and that's fine. And then for pricing, we'll just select the cost per click method, and we'll say, okay, I'll do 85 cents because, you know, it's the top amount, so I'll just stick that in there. So I've got my audience in there, I've got my pricing in there. Under interests, I want to type in Facebook for business. And that gives me a bunch of people. And it says there are 940,000 people living in the US who are interested in Facebook for business. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this ad. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to go over to my ads manager, and I'm going to show you what ends up happening here. So what we've got here is this great new feature that allows us to preview these ads while we're creating them, but then we have a problem, and that is there is so much text in here that Facebook is going to reject this as an ad because we're violating their rules about how much text you can have in the ad. And so I want to open this ad in Ads Manager, and this is what we used to do before they created this feature. And that is, you'd go ahead wherever you were creating the ads, either Ads Manager or Power Editor, you'd have to go back into Ads Manager to see how much text you were actually using for that ad. So let's go ahead and open up this ad. We're going to edit the creative, and we're in Ads Manager right now. And this is where we're going to see all the violations of the text. And it's going to show you the ad right here. And we want to open up the advanced options because that's where you get more of the text. And it says we're not violating anything down here, but here's the problem. You have to go into Ads Manager to be able to see whether or not you are violating the length of text that you're using in the different places that you can put text for your ads. So I obviously have way too much text in the headline right here, so I need to change this. So I'm going to just dump some of this text, and I'm still violating it. So let's say we just make it real short. Facebook advertising tips for free. It's still too long. So how about Facebook ad tips for free? And we've got one character too long, so now we got to get rid of this. And this is something you have to pay really close attention to because your headline is really critical because it's the largest text that you actually see on the ad, and you need to make sure that whatever you're saying here is really compelling. Now we get down to the text, and right here is the relationship of this text area to where it shows up in the ad. And so clearly we're still too long. We need to revise them. So let me just delete some of this text. And I still have about 21 characters left. So how about if I say sign up today? And that should be fine. And now I save it, and I'm in Ads Manager where I saved it, and it'll go through the review process, and Facebook will either accept it or reject it. Now, what is at issue here right now is whether or not Facebook will look at this picture and interpret all of the little words on these products and say, oh no, you've got too much text on your image, because this would potentially violate Facebook's 20% text rule because it's all here. Now, if they did that, I would have to go back to Facebook and say, look, this text is not something that I typed in, it is actually on the product itself. And once you explain that to Facebook, they typically go ahead and have a second review by a person instead of their computers, and they will approve this ad at that point. If they come back and say, no, you're violating this, I will have to put a brand new image in here that does not have text that violates the 20% rule. I have another video on my YouTube channel where I talk about this 20% rule and how you can deal with that. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I'm Arlene Battisil. Thanks so much.